Never. Okay. So today I want to divide the session into two. Okay. So today we want to divide the session into two because we have discussed quite a bit about diet and everything already. So I want to basically start with the explanation on dinner. And then we also want to, a second half, I want to explain about chanting. Although it requires a whole session in itself, I'm realizing that we have, Tripti Mataji just messaged that we have only, today is the last day. I said, no, we'll have two more. We'll have one or two more, and then we'll wind up. And then, of course, we have the Chandrayana course. So, speaking about dinner prasad. So, basically speaking, according to Ayurveda, dinner should be very light. So, dinner prasadam should be very light, and dinner prepares you for the next day. There's a lot of preparation that you need to do in order to have a good chanting in the morning. So basically that is being light. So the type of sleep that you get, I was just speaking, I had actually two more classes before this, like morning 5 a.m. There's one devotee who has registered from India. So my morning 5 a.m. I did a class, and we had a discussion with Mataji. I had one more class before this, two classes actually. And we were discussing how and she was saying that, and she's associated with the ISKCON temple somewhere in East Coast, and they were saying how much they used to eat soy. So how much they used to actually eat soy. And soy is very, okay, so let me mute everyone. So soy is actually very bad for health. So many youngsters get addicted to it because it tastes like meat. So similarly, people get addicted to paneer because again, it's heavy. So the thing is, you have to eat food according to light, heavy, and very heavy. So light means sattva-guna, heavy rajoguna, very heavy tamoguna. So very heavy on what? The body and mind. So what you eat, you are what you eat. Your mental substance, so mental strength is also depending on your diet. So when we are, so when we eat very heavy, what happens to the mind is that the mind also begins to behave like that. Once there was a fight in the temple. So Srila Prabhupada, so fight, of course, every temple there is fights. We see there is politics and fights. Because the consciousness is not Shuddha Sattva. So if you remember in the first class I had explained that there is Ahankar, and as the gunas expand, the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, your identification with the body goes very strong. Your identification with the body becomes even stronger. So that is called as klesha. So klesha means avidya. So the soul is covered with ignorance, and that ignorance leads to identification with the body. Now the thing is, we may know these things. I will tell you this, what is klesha. But until you practice sattvic diet, you will not even experience how to be free from klesha. So that is why if you want really good chanting, really good japa, the first thing begins with is diet. If one wants to overcome attraction for material things. So how is that? So this avidya, this leads to uh, asmita. So asmita is the identification with the body. And the more you identify with the body, um, then what happens? Raga. So you perform activities attaching yourself to the body. So that is asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. And most of it is egged on or aggravated due to uh, rajasic food. So moment you eat rajasic food, just like, so imagine it's a festival. It's a festival appearance of the Lord, and and instead of focusing on eating, everything should be shuddha sattva, everything should be sattvic. But imagine that it's the appearance day festival of the Lord or something like that, and what will devotees do? What we all do, we end up doing is we cook something really heavy. We make really heavy pakodas, this, that, So you can see that in traditional Indian temples, there is Brahminical cooking, which is different, and there is cooking for the general people. Because general people, yes, you just want to eat heavy. But as devotees, for example, there is appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, and you break the fast at night. So many of them just have heavy meals. But if you really want the real benefits, so one has to eat very light, one has to be very meditative. Because the lighter you eat, the calmer you eat, that means your mind, see, the thing is, we have, remember this part, our prana energy is limited. So your prana can do certain amount of tasks within the body. The more heavier you eat, your prana goes to your belly. Your prana goes to that part. It is trying to, the prana is trying to align itself. It's trying to go there, go here, go there. So the thing is, if you want to direct the prana towards the mind, towards the heart, then the stomach pressure should be less. I mean, this may sound something like you have never heard before, because in general we hear chanting se sab kuch theek ho jayega, but why are not devotees not in ecstasy? So many devotees living in temple for so many years. What is the problem? So the problem is association with guna. And the moment you associate with a guna, you get the qualities of that guna, no matter who you are. And this is Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. We can degrade really fast. So if we really want to grow, then our food should be in the mode of goodness. Our food should be really, really in the mode of goodness. And when this mode of goodness becomes prominent, body heals automatically. So we already talked about fresh sprouts. There was one more dish my wife made, that is whole wheat. You soak the whole wheat and make a, like, like steam it, kind of dalia. So whole grains are very, very good, like whole barley, whole wheat. You have to know how to make things out of it. Whole barley soup, even my son was eating at the age of 1.5. and we have to realize that the more sattvic and whole grains we eat, so in the Shastras it explains, eat whole grains like mung or green gram, whole grains. So when you take whole grains, there is so much more benefit, mm, that we find. So now, night. So night, it is best to have something liquid, something liquid. So what happens is it's already like paste form and it's easy to digest. So the thing is, when something is cooked just ready to start the digestion process, for example, if you do pakoda, so pakoda means the body has to break it down into a liquid. So it all depends on how much masala, everything that you add, if you add it right quantity and, So basically, if you uh, um, make it more soups, steamed vegetables, just some stir-fried vegetables, they are very good. Like my wife makes, I think I shared my pictures yesterday of the lunch, right? All of you got. So what all we did was, um, uh, so what do you call it? Uh, what do you call that? So I just had like baked vegetables and salad. Mm. So in that way, uh, gradually you'll find that the lighter we eat, the better we get. So at night, especially, I focus on more little bit of yoga, and I focus more on healing, like kind of calming down, sitting in swastikasana, siddhasana. I'm just like, I have this Rode mic, but I have a problem with the cable with the recording, so it's buzzing. So I'm getting a cable tomorrow. So in a couple of days, I'm going to start releasing yoga videos with backgrounds, simple asanas, which is very good for chanting, which is very good for meditation. So I do all that. So basically, what I found was, if you sit with your back straight, and when you do chanting, there is so much more effect. So night you sit. So night, basically, what is good is like something which is, instead of eating rice, chapati, and all these things, dal sabji or soups at night. So I try to avoid things that take heaviness to digest. Even dal is a little heavy, so more veggies, more vegetables. Dal you can take good quantity in the afternoon, but more like boiled, steamed vegetables, all these things. So they are very good for dinner. And uh, so basically, the more uh, at night, avoid making any kind of fried or too much starchy. That can also hamper the digestion. And avoid taking too much fruits at night, because what happens is that fruits are cold. Fruits are actually cold. So fruits should be taken like morning, mid-morning. So mid-morning you should take fruits, but don't take fruits at night. If you're fasting, okay, so then fruit you can take one or two. That's what I did. If I felt really hungry, I was about to die, so okay, one fruit. That made me survive. But in general, at night, you stick to something. The only roti what I would recommend for night is jowar bajra roti. That's all. If you'd really like to have. Wheat rotis are also not very are actually heavy at night. So the more lighter your diet is at night. So it goes like this. So there is heaviness in the afternoon, morning and evening it should be lighter diet. So then you have enough time in the day to digest the food. So you have enough time in the day because you are mobile. Remember, another thing that can help your digestion in the afternoon is also a short nap. A short nap can recover the body very quickly. So I have found that when you don't take a nap and you go for long hours, so by the time you are at night, you are like really, really tired. If you want to avoid a pot belly, if you want to avoid a big belly, the best thing is to reduce eating at night. And that's what we will do in the Chandrayana fast. So we will methodically plan it out. And uh, the another thing that we also cook is like moong usli. So you also make that. Then you take some, so even if you take like leafy vegetables, slightly sauteed, or soups, like that. So in that way, if you plan the night so that you can also have an early dinner, and 1 cup hot milk. If you get fresh milk, drink it standing, with haldi or something. So that is before you sleep, because milk is very good, with a spoon of ghee, and you drink it standing. It takes care of all aches and pains within the body. But it should be at least half an hour before you sleep. And your dinner should be at least 2 hours before you sleep. So you have to ensure that you give the body at least 2 hours, because it takes 2 hours for the body uh, to actually digest that and bring it to a proper platform of digestion. If you eat and sleep, then what happens? Your sleep is being interfered so much. There is so much interference in your sleep that the heaviness, this will uh, then deprive you of deeper sleep, of the sattvic sleep. So ensure that you eat like 1.5 2 hours before dinner, before sleep, and the milk, if you are drinking, at least like half hour before. And then the one tea I would recommend is just hot water, and then adding to that ginger and turmeric powder. It's so good. That will help improve your digestion, because ginger is always helping in digestion. So in this way, you will find that your dinner, the timing is important. Eating light is important. Now it depends on everybody's individual taste. So I usually try to, if there is something easier, lighter to eat, I do that. Uh, Otherwise, I also try to drink a lot of water, and try to avoid anything heavy at night. Um, and uh, Soups are also served as appetizers, so that I can make and feel. What should the quantity of soup if taken as full meal? So basically, if we really want to measure, so then the quantity of rice that you take, rice or dal that you take, so you take like a good quantity, like a full bowl, good satisfying quantity. And whatever lunch you take, make sure your dinner quantity is always half. That's important, because if it's heavy, so then it's too heavy. So whatever you take, make it half. So make it half quantity, and then drink the soup for that quantity. So it should be like, if you're taking only that, then it should be half. So if it is leafy vegetables, then it can be even, say India, you get all these nice vegetables, gourds, everything. Ek sabji bhi chalega. Just you focus on sabji. Because when you eat too many things, the digestion is also, at night you eat one thing, one sabji, some simple sabji, or beans or something, or soup. But one thing, like half the quantity of your lunch in general, but don't exceed that too much. And then that is good enough. If you feel a little hungry, it is good still. Don't eat to your full hunger, especially at night. That is very dangerous. We overeat. When you try to fully satisfy the hunger, then you overeat actually. Okay, what is a good time to drink ginger and lemon tea? So actually, lemon water. So that is any time in the day you can drink actually. Morning is especially good, but these teas can be drunk at any time in the day. They can be drunk at any time in the day. So feel free to uh, drink throughout the day. Actually, I made some people who had diabetic problems to drink hot cinnamon tea, and you can drink it throughout the day once you get addicted to it, instead of water also, because these spices, they energize the body. Cinnamon, steak, turmeric, and there is cinnamon, steak, turmeric, and there is lemon. They make your body alkaline, healing, energizing. Okay, so um, any other quick questions on dinner? You can ask right now. Then I want to move to the next section, the klesha and the chanting. So diet, chanting. So I want to focus on. So I'm not seeing any questions popping up right now. So if you have, let me know. Uh, so that would be the advice for dinner. And once you join and of course it is very much individual. And during those who will join the Chandrayana diet, then we will work on your diet individually. We'll work on giving individual diet based on your health condition. So that will be done during Chandrayana. But otherwise, these are like the general guidelines. Can we have a mixture of this lemongrass, mint, ginger, cardamom, and cinnamon tea in the morning with breakfast and also? So lemongrass, I would say have it separate. Like we also drink lemongrass in the morning. That's like for the morning separate. Mint, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon at tea with breakfast. Yeah, that's good. Hot teas, these teas, this is okay. But lemongrass, don't mix with that. Lemongrass should be separate. Because lemongrass is a superfood. It is an energy in itself. Do not mix with the others. Cinnamon, try not to use the powder. Try to use the stick, I would say. All right. Okay, that's a good question. We'll have it after dinner also. Sorry, I'm a little this thing because I slept like 1 and I woke up at 4:30. And so much with the kids and writing a book and with all these classes. Okay, so now I want to talk about chanting. And tomorrow we'll do a yoga and yoga nidra. Try to wind up our session. So chanting. So what are the so what do we need when we chant? So I want all of you to, whoever can chat, can just tell me some issues that you face while chanting. Then I can specifically address that, but I can give general guidelines on how to chant, um, simple techniques to chant, what I do to chant. And if you can, I'm sure most of us face like we are not able to focus, all these things we face, correct? So if you could let me know specifically what guidelines or some questions that you may have during chanting, then I can specify that. Okay, here we have the first one. So that is mind wandering. So I want it to be very interactive, not that I'm sleeping and not that I'm just speaking. And mind wandering, falling asleep while chanting in early morning. Okay, procrastination. So I guess that means you are planning to chant, but then it's far away. They be Dilli dur hai, right? Okay, so these are all very genuine concerns. So what is chanting? Hmm? So now I have to go back to the yogic principle. Okay, so when you go back to the yogic principle, chanting. So chanting means, so basically the yogic principle is that the mind, your mind is your friend or your enemy. Your mind can convince you that what you are doing is okay. So the greatest cheat in our life is our own mind. And this mind cannot be conquered until you have an occupation in the mode of goodness. So that is why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he explains that either you are situated in Varnashrama Dharma or you are situated in Bhagavata Dharma. So what does that mean? So mostly what happens is in today's day and job work that we all do, so we are basically being exposed to Rajogun and Tamogun. Whereas the purpose of Varnashrama Dharma is the elevation to the mode of goodness of all uh, Varnas. And basically because we are, so these typical problems that you are saying, these are all dealing with Rajo and Tamo Guna. So that's how I see it. Like you can be in the temple and you can be in Tamoguna. Just check out your diet. You can completely be in Tamoguna. You can, it's just the way your diet is. So that's why diet is so critical. Number one. Second, your chanting also depends on your physical condition. So the second point to note down is if the air within your body is balanced, then your chanting is much better. The problem that we find today is that we move around so much, we watch the phone so much. The mind is not focusing. There is lack of balanced pressure. We eat so bad that our stomach is heavy. We take so much stress that the airs in the mind. Yesterday, I want to show you a video uh, that is very wonderful actually. And that's okay. Where is that? Okay, here. Mm, that's a really okay, here. Okay, watch this video. So how this gong is, the gong is producing this, and what happens to the water? It's very interesting. There is quite a lot of things to explain from this. So, quite a long video, but you see the general effect here. How the water moves in a particular wave form. Huh? Okay, so that was really interesting. What I want to explain to you is there was a Japanese scientist who made an experiment with the water, and what he did was to the water one person spoke good things into that water, and one person spoke a person in another glass of water, he spoke abusive words. Then they made a then they did a microscopic analysis of that water. And what happened with that? The person who spoke good words into that water, like with heartfelt good words, the crystalline structure was different. The person who spoke bad words into that, the crystalline structure was different. In the water itself, the crystalline structure of it was different. So in your body, with every thought, with every burst of anger, with every burst of stress, and I'm thinking I will take this stress, I will make somebody happy, I'll make my boss happy, we go through this stress, it completely changes your crystalline structure. It makes it warped. So chanting is not that 2 hours I sit down and everything is fine. No. All that emotions you take, all that food you eat, all that lifestyle you do, all that karma you get, everything results in your chanting. Ajamil got the effect because he did not know the glories of the holy name. We all know the glories of the holy name. And if we do not change our life, that's a rarest of rare case. And if we do not change our life to Sattva Guna, then we are only increasing our material existence. So many people say, ye yoga kya hai, ye diet kya hai. But you don't realize that are we able to sit in one place? The yogic scriptures explain, Lord Shiva explains in Shiva Samhita that the bodily fluids, there is such a purification. Now you see, when there is a proper sound, your body is that fluid. When the mantra is harmoniously put in the body, imagine the amazing effect. It not only improves your body, it improves your mind, it improves your intelligence, it improves you at all levels, because even mind is a subtle fluid, it's very fast. But we say it can be controlled by chanting, but we struggle to chant. So all our stress, the background noises, so when you try to chant, the mind is going wandering, this, that. So we are trying to, these are all symptoms of the disease. And what is the disease? The disease is Rajoguna and Tamoguna. If you remember day one, I explained, what is that? That mind is created from the mode of goodness. The only way to control the mind is when you come to the mode of goodness. If your mind is not controlled, boom, period. Your mind is in the mode of passion or ignorance. All this falling asleep, procrastination, mind wandering, it is all mode of passion and ignorance. Because a sattvic mind is very, very alert. If you see the Buddhist monks, when they meditate with this sound, you forget everything else. Chanting is such a sacred activity, many a times we take it for granted. Sola mala karna hai. It becomes material. What was the problem after Lord Chaitanya left this planet? There was deviation. And what is the deviation? Is that the purity with which what we should give to our chanting, we do not. The purity that we need to imbibe in our lifestyle, in diet, in our work, in our interaction with others, that purity is not imbibed. Then how can you have pure chanting? Because all the other things that you do leads up to your chanting. That is number one. When you are liquid, you see that sound in that. And with the Japanese experiment, you see the whole day what we spend, how much stress we take on the phone, how much we are not ready to let go, how much we envy somebody, how much we hate somebody, how much we love somebody, how much we are stressed out with something. All this results in building up the liquid. If your liquid is really, really disturbed, so that is liquid. But then there is also vata. So the vata, so your vata, the air. So how does your mind connect to the body? That is by a complex network of nadi. That's a very so during the Chandrayana, I will also explain about the nadis. So how the nadis, how the energy moves in your body. It's very complex. It's very beautiful. But that needs like a very deep. I have a whole presentation on that. That is from my book, actually, upcoming book. So how it actually moves. So what happens is that I once attended a japa workshop, for example. He was a proper disciple. And he said, when you try to chant, you should read one Bhagavatam verse, you should chant. And then you should meditate on that pastime, on that verse, and you should chant. And I was serving Jayadvaita Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, what is this? I'm getting confused. First of all, to chant is tough. And then you have to think of something else while chanting. I mean, what is this? So he said, just hear. So when you hear, the vibration itself has such a powerful and profound effect, provided your mind is at one pointed concentration. The mind has two tendencies called as sarvagra and ekagra. Sarvagra means you can think of 100 things at the same time. But that is the most dangerous thing, tendency. Ekagra means the mind is completely focused on one thing only. One and one thing only. So when we want to chant, our mind should be focused on one and one thing only. Now to get to that point, you need inspiration. That's where it comes. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagra janasangascha laulyamcha shadvir bhakti vinashyati उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्व तत्त कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागो सतवृत्ते सद्वीर भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति उत्साह. First you are enthusiastic. Many a times we see others, we become also same discouraged. We also become completely discouraged. We also thinking, अरे इतने साल से जप कर रहा है, इसका कुछ नहीं हुआ, मेरा क्या होगा? Or some people we see and we become so inspired. Look how he has transformed. So we should see the positive examples. Like for me, in my life, my spiritual master, he has one leg. His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. He chants. I have seen him chanting. He literally Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Single pointed, but he has done so much tapasya. He is very, very detached. So we have to be detached from material anxieties first. Jo hona hai hone do. Because bhakti means you have jnana and vairagya. So without vairagya, you cannot. Jo hona hai hone do. But I am chanting. So the chanting begins with a methodical, you have to frame the mind before, just like before you drive the car. You cannot just start the car and just driving. So you have to start, you have to check all the engine lights or whatever, everything. You heat up the car and whatever, then you drive nicely. So similarly, when you chant, you have to prepare. You have to calm down. It's a liquid. It's like you cannot be in 101 places. And what I follow is the uh, is basically the philosophy of who is that? Burijan Prabhu. So Burijan Prabhu says one mantra at a time. That is actually ekagra. Agra means the edge of a mountain. And the edge of a mountain means literally to get there, you have to really struggle. Like yesterday, there is a beautiful park here. Of course, Las Vegas, I mean, that was the best thing to happen to my life, to come to Las Vegas and to see this beautiful city and see there are so many nice people I found. And that is all because of the nice environment. There are more children homeschooled in Las Vegas than, although it is the sin city, but there are more children homeschooled here. And we found so many nice people, so many friends. They are not Hare Krishna devotees, but they are nice. But they are into so many different forms of meditation. That gave me so much clue. I mixed with so many people with whom I wouldn't have mixed before. So we have to take input from all different ways. We have to understand the basics of meditation. That's a whole class in itself, because how the mind works in receiving a thought, processing a thought, digesting a thought, that's very deep philosophy. And chanting is like the topmost. So we should have all the basics first. But somehow it's emergency, it's Kali Yuga, you don't have much time. Okay, just do this. But then after some time, we have time and we realize, oh, So my realizations are, first, you have to elevate yourself to the mode of goodness. Sama, Dama, Tapaschaiva, Ahimsa, Arjava, Mevacha, Jnana, Vijnana, Mastikyam, Brahma, Karma, Subhavacham. So that is why in ISKCON people take Brahmin initiation. But Brahmin initiation for what? Have we cultivated these qualities? So basically one has to become very, very peaceful. One's only goal should be, I want to keep my mind peaceful to chant. Even if the most agitating thought comes, I have to keep my mind peaceful to chant. I cannot let myself subject to anger. I cannot let myself subject to envy. I cannot subject myself because of somebody's stupid Facebook posts. I have a serious responsibility towards Krishna. So in my eating, in my sleeping, I have a responsibility that when I chant, I should chant offenselessly. I heard this lecture from Madhavananda Prabhu, and he said, what is the purpose of a temple? So I've lived in temples, and very few temples actually follow this. So what is the purpose of a temple? To chant, to facilitate everyone to chant offenselessly, and to facilitate the systematic study, category-wise study of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Because both are same, it's nama. So it's basically centered around the name. But then if you look at the diet, if you look at the lifestyle, if you look at the politics, it is completely offensive. So we have to become non-offensive if you want to really chant. Non-offensive with begins with the way you think and eat. You calm down your eating, you focus on calming down. So when you are calmed down like that, next day when you wake up, you see a very different feeling when you are light, when you are focused, when you are energetic. You are non-offensive. Non-offensive means, so Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yukta Hara Viharasya Yukta Chestasya Karmasu Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkhaha. So dukkha. So by the practice of yoga, he has overcome his dukkha. Means physically, like what we are talking about, falling asleep while chanting, procrastination. So these are all basically because of dukkha. So we have not taken care of our responsibilities. We have not been sharp enough. We have not organized, or we have not minimized. So you might think chanting is just chanting. Chanting ke time pe chanting karo. No, it's not like that. If you want to really chant, then everything. Chanting is, the holy name is the center, but everything else is around it. It affects you. It does definitely affects you. So with all this preparation, you eat light, you remain focused, and your one and only one goal is to chant. That should be in your head. That my one and only one goal is to chant offenselessly and offer that offenseless chanting to Krishna. One and only one goal is to imbibe Bhagavatam, not just read and study the Bhagavatam, but to really imbibe those qualities in my life. It's good to read, it's good to give a class, but then you have to imbibe. When you want to imbibe, when you want to cultivate those qualities, my Guru Maharaj was saying in his Vyasa Puja address a few days ago, wow, he said, the 26 qualities of a devotee, those qualities should develop within you. And when those qualities are there, automatically, so in Sattva Guna, automatically you are addicted to chanting. Okay, so when you chant, what do? You have to sit firmly. Like Prabhupada said, sit properly and chant. And chant one mantra at a time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Before that, make a vow. I will not commit offense. Even if somebody has insulted me, at least till I finish chanting, I will forgive him. I will forgive him. I will let it go. I will let it go. If it sticks to you, that person is enjoying his life. Whatever he is doing in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, let him do. But unnecessarily, he is sitting in your heart, because mind means mind is in the heart. Unnecessarily, you are giving that place, that enemy. And there is only developing bad blood. And what is it affecting? It is affecting your own chanting. So you have to let it go. When you start to chant, you have to let everything go. I have this to do, I have that. It's okay, even if I lose everything. Materially, whatever you have to get, you will get. And if anything is lost, it will come back in another form. If because of chanting you have to have some loss, that's fine, but you will benefit with chanting. So there is material energy is neither created or destroyed, it is converted from one form to the other. So that is why when I am sitting to chant, if there is a nuclear bomb blast right now, if a snake comes right now, he will only bite if Paramatma wills. Even if I am in the most dangerous position in my life, if I have to do something, that is chanting. So with all this vow, I sit to chant, I will not deviate, I'll only focus, only मैं अभी ये करूंगा, इसके सिवा कुछ नहीं करूंगा. I will just hear. And when you hear, it is like a yagya. You are putting the ghee and it comes to the heart. And the heart is your fire. The mantra has to come, that is the ghee, and here the fire is burning. If you do not hear, the ghee is not coming. No yagya. Krishna is simply stuck here. Hare Krishna, your mind is somewhere and Krishna goes somewhere. That is offense. You are inviting Krishna, Hare Krishna, come, enter my heart. Mama mana mandire. And when you chant, is somewhere. You are somewhere. Your mind is somewhere. ये कोई chanting होता है. So chanting means you are inviting a guest. So I am ready to welcome Krishna now. That should be your enthusiastic mood. I am ready to welcome Krishna into my heart. That might die down in some time, that enthusiasm, but you have to be enthusiastic. Every time it's Krishna, it's Krishna. He's not a small boy, Baba. I mean, he's a small boy, but he's not some ordinary person. He's Krishna. Even President of United States or Narendra Modi might not give you an audience, but Krishna is giving you an audience. But for whom? Only the Rasika Bhaktas. If you read the Srimad-Bhagavatam, that's what shocked me. It is said, why does Krishna come? to only take those devotees, those who are in the mode of pure goodness, sattvatas. That's why when I see some devotee talking politics or talking about, I went through it, so I know now. Somebody's talking politics about temple and everything, kuch nahi hone wala. If somebody is talking about temple made, we want to achieve this, why do we have to have any material goal? Our goal should be only spiritual cultivation. Even when somebody is materialistically speaking, he's speaking about, I want to achieve this in life, this in life, this in life, this in life. But if your goal is not Krishna, everything, if you really chant, you will not only get spiritual purification, you'll get mental purification, you'll get bodily purification. And I really feel that all devotees, if we come to that platform, I'll tell you something very interesting that really enforced my belief. So Mahatma Prabhu was saying in a lecture a few days ago, I listen to his lectures sometimes, and he said that they were having a temple president's meeting in Los Angeles, Rath Yatra, first temple president's meeting. He was the temple president of Vancouver. And and they thought Prabhupada will talk about temple politics, ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua. So they said that wonderfully, Prabhupada was speaking about how to inspire each other, how to develop more centers, how to come into the level of deeper inspiration. So that inspiration comes with, of course, enthusiasm. And that's all Prabhupada talked about, how to go deeper into your practice. So preaching is all about going deeper within. So chanting is all about going deeper within. So I left everything else, and somehow Krishna gave me that situation where I have nothing else to do, but I know that I was also too much into politics, this, that, and it really kills your spiritual life. It really killed my spiritual life. So lesson learned. And the first thing we have to do is we have to realize when chanting is good, everything is good. If we have problem with somebody, something, chant offenselessly. Wherever you are. If you have stress or anything, remember Krishna. But get into a mood of goodness. So that's my first realization in good chanting is diet, lifestyle. If you are angry, fighting throughout the day, and all of a sudden in the morning you have to come to the mode of pure goodness to chant, how is that possible? Your momentum carries on. So we have to keep doing things, but in the mode of goodness, number one. And that will flow into your chanting. Number two, when you sit to chant, you realize this is the highest activity. I'm inviting Radha and Krishna. If I offend, if I lose everything now. Then I could become another materialistic bhakta. We have to fear that. Now, third thing is when you start to chant, I hear each name. The name has to enter and the name has to enter the heart. So I started meditating like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, am I hearing? Am I hearing? Be more attentive. Then the next mantra is like the next mantra. It's like one train. So then it's like you are watching a bus go. Ek bus gaya. Next bus. Dusra bus gaya. Third bus. Fourth bus. It's like you have a trapeze artist. वो ऐसा swing करके आता है. दूसरा इधर से आता है. He has to slip, jump between the two. In between, if you slip, you fall down. So what happens? In between our chanting, we could get slipped away. So it is important that we keep full concentration in our chanting. That we chanted one mantra. Did I hear? Was I attentive? To be conscious, what we call Krishna conscious, to be conscious of Krishna, to be conscious of your chanting. If you are not conscious of your own chanting, Krishna has to be conscious of your chanting. No, we have to be conscious of our chanting. So that is why everything has to be done in the mode of goodness. it takes a effort to start. So what I started doing was, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, did I hear every word? Was it loud and clear enough? Next one. It took little more time to finish that round, but I heard every word attentively. Now, next mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once you do that reset business, then gradually what happens? Once you do, this is a little mechanical, but at least you are getting the focus right. Then you can add emotion. Should we think? No. Where is the time to think? Just hear. Full concentration should be on the hearing. The holy name is everything. You don't have to think separately. That is why Prabhupada said, this is not an artificial imposition on the mind. You don't need to think anything else. That's what Jayadvaita Maharaj made it clear to me. Just chant. The only thing is, some devotees use, like, you read, like you keep a printed mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That helps. But again, you are all pushy, and yeah, that's good. You are getting it. But once you get that, you have to keep the momentum. Hear every mantra. Every mantra is Radha Krishna, the whole Rasa Leela. One mantra, one mantra, one mantra, one mantra. Every mantra is a victory. Every mantra is a victory. When I said this to some devotees, they said, we started getting headache. मतलब तब तक कुछ करते ही नहीं थे. We are not even concentrating. So when you really start to concentrate, you will see all your mental energy being focused. You hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Once you get the concentration right, then you can focus on the speed. First, don't worry about speed. It took me like a week. Then you will eliminate the gap automatically between the two mantras. It will automatically happen. It will automatically come. You will be able to, the mind switches from one mantra to the next, to the next, to the next. It will become a habit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. The mind has to bring this to the foreground. Now our chanting is mostly in the background. Some other thought is in the front. No, you have to bring it to the foreground. So you have to chant loud, clear. Keep bringing the mind. 6th chapter is so important to read. You keep bringing the mind, keep bringing the mind, keep bringing the mind, keep bringing the mind. And then I can say so many things, but it's all a question of practice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. If I hear, clear, attentive, Krishna is pleased. I'm trying to please Krishna. All I have to do is hear attentively. Prabhupada said, just hear, loud and clear. And when you hear, it enters the heart. It completely changes your heart region. You feel the purification, because you saw that bowl, right? So we want to change the heart, the mantra, the mind. Your mind is there, here. It has to take that shower of the holy name. अगर attentive ही नहीं है तो shower कहाँ से मिलेगा? You don't have to engage the mind separately. The mind has to just be ready to receive the grace. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So the mind, you just have to prepare to hear. And when you are here, when your attentiveness is there, everything else will come. This is the first stage. So I have a 4-stage japa workshop. So this is the first stage. When you first get your lifestyle right, get your focus right. So Chandrayana is the first step. Then we have to get into reading of Bhagavatam. You have to really get into reading of Bhagavatam. You have to understand the category. So next Sunday, I have a live lecture in one of the temples. So I'm going to focus on the Bhagavatam. Actually, you might find this interesting. So there is a Bhagavatam. The entire Bhagavatam is in one. So the entire Bhagavatam is one big family. So you can make connection with everything. So the thing is, the mind needs to be really attentive, and that's why the Bhagavatam is there. If you are able to follow the trail of purification, the Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsar will go, and you will get the 26 qualities of a devotee. But the first step is attentive chanting. Agar wahin pe hum log nahi kar rahe hain, then where is Bhagavatam? So we have to make our life, it's not just about chanting, but at the same time, it is about attentively just getting your lifestyle to the mode of goodness. Then your mind is much more concentrated. Once your concentration is there, then the next step is to hear each mantra attentively, prepare for the chanting, hear nicely, focus nicely, and when the mantra enters, you feel a very powerful injection, very powerful effect. And we have to be very patient, because it takes a few days to really become pakka, to become really strong. The first few days you might not feel any change. It's like you're putting the seed and putting water. It may take sometimes some months sometimes, but then when the roots are strong, when your hearing is pakka, then imagine the effect on the heart. Like that bowl, the holy name is sounding here. Imagine the transformation. Your mind is surrounded by Krishna's name. It's perfect. So beautiful. So this is what we should cultivate. So we should have that overall picture. At the same time, we should be very attentive, very focused, and it will all fall in place. I have a lot to say, but it's 8:30 here. And I would be open to any questions. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whether you found this useful, please let me know. You can even ask by the mic, or you can even chat. So far we have only 3 questions: mind wandering, falling asleep. So falling asleep, quickly put, it's all about eating light and sleeping early. So that's why I focused on dinner, because this is all leading up to chanting. Procrastination, yes, it's a mind in Rajoguna. So mind needs to come to Sattva Guna. So I have answered with that. So then the procrastination will go when you are very focused. And the wandering mind is also a situation with Rajoguna. So any other quick questions, comments? Anybody would like to add something to this? Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah. Actually, this since your lectures have started, whatever means the way you have explained, and I am trying to reduce my even eating, and also I can feel some difference. But the only thing is, I am worried that I should be able to continue like that after these classes are over.
Yeah. So for a
Yeah,
few
thank you.
days, so basically, you read it. So that's why I do this Chandrayaan course. And whoever has joined my Chandrayaan course, I'm giving so much attention to each of them. For me,
Yeah.
this is so important, because now in my life, I've experienced everything. Living in temple, living outside, living in Las Vegas. I mean, there can be nothing better in life than living in Las Vegas. There can be no better experience in life to see what the world is. 42 million people visit here. We do Nagar Sankirtan on the strip once in a while. We meet so many people. We see so many people from different parts of the world attending so many shows. You see how huge the world is. I mean, it's Krishna's mercy, that he's showing me something amazing here. And and the more we experience, so it is also said that one of the ways you learn is from seeing the whole world, and to really see how fortunate we are. And this has made me realize how fortunate we are. And only thing is how much we are not making use of this fortune, you know so once I wrote to my Guru Maharaj saying I'm very depressed. He said, you should be enthusiastic to get everybody else out of depression. If you go into depression, what will you do? So we have to be enthusiastic, and life is a continuous learning process. So I would definitely encourage all of you to Uh, I mean, I'm recording a lot of classes, so I have my page. You can like my page, or you can send me a request on Facebook, and we can keep in touch. So Chandrayaan course is 1 month, so it starts on full moon. There is a new moon batch which I wanted to start on 22nd, but looks like the full moon is more feasible. So I'm announcing a link for India. So Trupti Mataji is and me are working together. So what we do is we start on the full moon, and then we end on the full moon. It's a complete transformation. So I'm making more videos. The first batch is going on right now for the US, and I have a couple of people joined in India also. And the second batch we will start on June 5th. 22nd I was thinking, but it might be too early, and I have so many things to finish. And we also incorporate diet control. Second is we teach yoga. I also take you through basics of Bhagavatam, how to imbibe, how to practice it, the basic things of Bhagavatam, how to practice it. We all do everything, Mangalarti, this, that, but how to do it with a proper, even if you do one activity perfectly in Bhakti, that is the chanting, you can achieve so much. So all these things workshop I'll do. So we in that Chandrayaan, of course, it's not everyday lectures, but I'm making a series of videos also. So you have to watch, just like Jay Shetty is doing like an online course. And of course, we meet twice or thrice a week. Then some individual classes will also be there. I will spend time with individually. So that's how the Chandrayaan course will go from full moon to full moon. And we are getting a lot of offers from different places to partner with them to actually do this Chandrayaan course, and not just devotees from yoga societies. How much should one round of chanting take? So I had this interesting discussion with Radhesham Prabhu. So one round should take at least 6 to 7 minutes. But when your mind is completely clear, you could do it in 4 to 5 minutes. But it should take at least 6 to 7 minutes on a general basis. Maximum is 8 minutes. It should not go beyond 8. Hmm? Will you talk
Oh,
chanting or vrata is only focused on diet? So Chandrayaan fasting is not just fasting. Chandrayaan fasting is, if you look up Chandrayaan, I have my website link also, I can send you in our WhatsApp group. So the thing is, Chandrayaan is a transformation of the body, mind, and intelligence. It is not just about diet control. Just like I said, we should know how everything can be linked to Krishna. When I read the book Yoga Rahasya, and like for example, when I practice yoga, some devotees also say, Prabhupada ne yoga kidhar bola hai. What about pizza? Did Prabhupada say pizza, pasta, such fried foods? You know, Prabhupada used to cook only in ghee in America. That was his standard. So similarly, Prabhupada, if you read his purports, he explains that yoga is a Vaishnava science. So that is the point. So we should realize that the goal should be achieved. So what is the goal? To come to the mode of goodness. No matter what situation you are in life, financial, this, that, wherever you are, doesn't matter. What matters is, have you understood the principle and applied it according to your situation? So Chandrayaan is all about going into your individual situation and how we apply. So I sit with you, I do an interview, whoever registers, and we go through your whole life, diet, stress, chanting. I go through a whole, and I make a physical, emotional, and spiritual goal. I sit with you. And then how to achieve it systematically. What changes you will need. So I do it individually according to the person. So Chandrayaan involves a 2 hour one-on-one interview first. So this I have learned the hard way, how people go through so much difficulty, and actually by applying our bhakti science, the yoga science, the Ayurvedic science, how we can change. So I do it individually for everyone. And then we take you through the whole 1 month. And then we follow up how you can maintain mode of goodness for the rest of your life. That takes a lot. So I've been exhausted practically our course started on the 7th. And literally 8 to 10 hours I've been attending to people have been asking so many questions. some they are fasting, some are not devotees, so they are quitting tea, so they are doing this, they are doing that. So how to do? So everyone with an individual situation, we are trying to guide them, help them, because it's not just about chanting, but it's a change of a lifestyle, to the mode of goodness, so that we can chant better, so we can do devotional service better, we can be better devotees, our mind situation is better, we can get out of all this stress that may be there, and we can actually be happy, chant and be happy. So it's a physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual combined program. Hmm? Okay, so that answers that question. I'll be sending today I said a poster and a FAQ on that, on the Chandrayaan. What are the fees for the course? Okay, that will be on the website. So we have an early bird discount also. So you can check it out, and that I would answer. So for India, we have a different price. So US, we have a different price. US, I usually charge like $170, $180 like that. So India, we will do like almost half the price. It's different. Then we have our book also, The Food for the Soul. So it will come along with the fast. So in general, that would be. But I some devotees inquired and they wanted some discount. I said, okay, if you register early, then you get a discount. Okay, so I'll put it up. I'll send the information, more information, by tonight before tomorrow's class. Okay, so any other quick questions on chanting or uh, before we close for today? Okay, so the fees looks to be the last question. So we can do an early bird discount and take care of the fees. Okay. So I will stop here, and I would like to thank all of you for your enthusiastic participation. That is keeping me also going. And today here it is Saturday, so it's Saturday night for you. And I did not even realize that actually today was supposed to be the last day of the course. So we will have one last session tomorrow. mm, for this entire thing. So we'll have one last session. Actually, after this finishes, then I want to have every day like a half an hour live yoga talk. In general, anybody can join. So I'm trying to do that like a daily program. So that will, I hope to, after tomorrow, then day after, I'll start with something. But I want to continue like a daily half an hour podcast like thing. So I have to set up. So there is so many things to do in the next 2 days, but I'm very thankful to all of you for having enthusiastically attended and keeping the enthusiasm. So tomorrow we'll do some practical yoga also. Uh, 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 so we will tomorrow we will do one last long session. The day after tomorrow onwards, ours will be like 20-minute presentations talks. So yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, feeling a bit tired. Uh, what about Klesha? Okay, I explained Klesha's lecture. So today I put it in brief, but tomorrow I can cover it. So Kleshas, that's a very long lecture, but in general, it's we can. So what I want to start basically is the Bhagavatam wisdom. That gives me a good idea, because Bhagavatam is klesha, is purifying the kleshagni. So klesha is basically, you start with ignorance, avidya. So where does it start? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says avidyara bhare. It is because of avidya that that we are in stress. Avidyara bhare. So avidya means ignorance. So either you are in vidya or avidya. So devotional service gives you an opportunity to cultivate vidya. But if you use devotional service to further your own raga dvesha, material attachments, if you do that, if you continue with those material attachments, then if you continue with those material attachments and further use devotional service to further or get out of your material stresses, or then that is misuse of bhakti. So then your klesha increases. It's very subtle. So if you want to get rid of klesha, klesha is attachments. And klesha is, the attachment is because of ego, material ego. So ego, attachment, and aversion. And avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. So abhinivesha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur defines as inbuilt fear. Inbuilt fear. So that's how it is. So this is basically klesha. So kleshagni is, if you can understand, it's ignorance. And because of ignorance, we cultivate attachment, fear, and aversion to this world. So as long as you have material attachments, aversions, and fears, you are in klesha. So that is kleshagni. It's always burning. उसको देख के गुस्सा आता है, इसको देख के वो होता है, ये है, वो है, वो है, ये है. It's all kleshagni. So he said, bhakti, if you are actually performing bhakti, not now, but when you are actually performing bhakti, kleshagni. If you have kleshagni, then you are not performing bhakti. That's all. Means not performing pure bhakti. We are doing some form of bhakti, shadow form of bhakti. So that is why it is said, from offensive stage of nam, we should come to nama bhasa. Abhas hone lagta hai. Matlab you begin that real sattva-guna, that peace, you begin to experience. Nam abhasa. Prabhuji, please take a session on how to study Srimad-Bhagavatam or to read with a lot of faith, clearly necessary. So why don't we do this? Tomorrow, the last class, I'll divide it into two. The first half, I will give you how to read Bhagavatam in brief, because if I start speaking, it will go for 2 hours. So I've done so much research on that. And that is my next book also. My book is on how the Bhagavatam progress and heals your mind. There is so much to do, so much to write. Anybody's guide, like, anybody can read it. So what I'll do is the picture that I showed you, the entire Bhagavatam in one. So what I can do is I can take it through the whole thing, and I can explain how the Bhagavatam progresses. So last class bonus tomorrow, and we'll have simple yoga. I'll teach you, like basic things which you can do, anybody can do, because it has to be more individual, but simple things which you can do, breathing techniques. So we can do both tomorrow, and we will have an ending for this program. I have a class in another 15 minutes, so I have to sign off, and I will see you all tomorrow once again. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.